Hello, travel biz owner. Welcome to my corner of the travel industry, the Strategic Travel Entrepreneur Podcast. If you're ready to have fun, be inspired, get clarity, and take action in your travel business, then you're in the right place. Let's jump in. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. If you're new around here, my name is Rita M. Perez. I am your host of the Strategic Travel Entrepreneur Podcast. I've been in the industry for nearly 15 years, and this podcast has been running for just over 4 years, which, speaking of, many of you know that I have been growing out a blog for the podcast. So I'm going to plug that blog because I've been working on a couple articles this week. And they're really good, which means like some of the original articles that some of the original episodes that I've recorded are pretty freaking good episodes. They talk a lot about like just foundational things like what is content marketing. I gave you a sneak peek as to what I did for my travel agency rebrand. How do you work with your BDMs? So I just think like it is packed of resources. So if you don't have the time to listen to any more episodes, but you're a quick reader, definitely head over to strategictravelentrepreneurpodcast.com. There are officially 20 episodes repurposed as blog posts there, but they've just got really good resources, especially I know that you're listening to me now, but if you also like to see things, like see lists, see resources written out and things like that, it is super helpful for that, for if you are a visual learner as well. So just making the podcast even more accessible. I know I probably should have more blogs, but here we are. I'm giving myself grace and I'm just doing the thing. Many of you know I was on vacation recently. And vacation was glorious, to say the least. It was like the perfect reset. Like, I mean, I've done that Western Caribbean itinerary before. I've sailed with Celebrity before, never in Aqua Class. Aqua Class is amazing, just saying. But it was just so relaxing. That was like the most important thing because I definitely was in burnout mode and I'm feeling much more rejuvenated, trying to work on straightening things out on my focus and everything for everything that I do with Take the Helm. So work in progress. But this past week, getting back, not only have been a little spicy on social media, but I hosted the last call. So in Marketing Business School, I host 3 calls every month. And those 3 calls are usually different types of calls. We always do like a monthly planning session where we're co-working, creating a month for the plan, whatever that needs to look like. This month, I think we had opportunity mining. We also do tech talks. This month, at the end of the month, we had hot seat coaching. Next month, at the end of the month, will be a quarterly review call because we'll be already at the end of quarter 2, which is nuts to say. But at our hot seat coaching call this week, it was heavy. And I feel like that has kind of been the theme, or what a lot of people, and please let me know if I'm wrong. You can go ahead, shoot me a text, send me your thoughts on the show description. I feel like a lot of people have been feeling very similarly, and it all came to a halt in May, like where you may be feeling like, what's the point? Like nothing's going to change in my business, or I'm at the brink of quitting my travel agency, or I'm not making any sales. I just don't know what I should be doing anymore. And I think it's very important, especially as we look to starting a new month, starting a new season, almost starting a new quarter. 1, honoring those feelings, and then 2, what can you do to overcome those feelings? And I don't want to force you to do anything that you don't want to do. But I also want to give you an outlook that might be different than this black hole of like doom might be feeling to you in your business. So if you have been feeling hopeless, if you have been needing like a pick me up, if you've just been needing like a shining ray of light, I really hope that this episode really speaks to you. And 4 different things that you can do while you might be feeling this way, especially in your business right now, no matter what it is exactly that you're feeling. So the first thing that we're going to do, the first thing that I really think that it's important, especially like when I'm feeling just so tight, so overwhelmed, I don't know what to do next. Well, before we get into that exercise, I think about, and I may have mentioned this on the podcast before, the next right thing. And that is from Frozen 2, funny enough. If you know the characters a little bit, Anna happens to find herself in a situation alone in a dark cave, and she is feeling like completely hopeless. Like nothing that she can do is going to be the right thing, the best thing. She feels like she has completely messed everything up. And I remember seeing this scene and watching this movie back in the hullabaloo of 2020. And I had just gotten furloughed from my job, also feeling very similar feelings. And she started singing this song called The Next Right Thing. And so that's always something that I think about when I'm like, why is nothing working for me right now? What is the next right thing? It doesn't have to be a big thing. It just has to be something to get me back on the right path and the right track. So that is, for me, the thing that I think about. I'm like, what is the next right thing? Then I also need you to do for me, we're going to do a physical exercise, and only do this if it's safe. So if you're listening to me on the road, you might have to like either pull into a parking lot, pull off to the side or whatever. Or you might be able to do this driving, but do this safely. Whatever you're doing, please do this safely. Let's take a deep breath together. All right. Big deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Deep breath out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do that again. I'll let you count this time. 1. Hold. 1. Let's do one more deep breath in. 1. Hold. 1. All right. How does that feel? I really hope that feels like you've kind of helped your cortisol levels, your body's emotional regulation. Sometimes we need that time to pause also, because we're in that frantic mode. You can't see me, but I'm frantically like moving my arms back and forth. And sometimes you just need that stillness and that calm. So thanks for taking those deep breaths with me. That's not the only thing that we're going to do though, because I know that's not the only thing that you're probably doing right now. Is your jaw clenched? Let's go ahead. Let's loosen your jaw. Let's start relaxing. Probably have like is your eyebrow burrowed? Let's go ahead, relax your forehead, relax your jaw. Let's go right now. Be a little bit funny. Be a little bit dancey, okay? You've unclenched your jaw. Let's wave back and forth. Put your shoulders back to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left. We're going to do some funky, calm dancing here. Do a little shake. Do a little shimmy. Shimmy, shimmy. Do some little shake, shake, shake. Shimmy, 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 shimmy. Relax those shoulders. Start relaxing those hips. Maybe you do a little cha-cha. You do a little cha-cha here, cha-cha there. Relax those hips. We've got to relax your body first so that we can start calming down your mind, because I know your mind must be running a mile a minute here. And so it's very important just to slow down, be in the moment, know it's going to be okay, whatever it is that you might be going through, whatever that you're panicked about, whatever feeling helpless about. This too shall pass. It might not feel like it. It might not seem like it. But I promise you, it does pass. So this is the first step to take to be getting out of this funk, to be getting out of this dark cave that you might be feeling right now. Do some breathing exercises. Do some fun physical movements so that we can feel a little bit lighter right now. And if that's all that you're capable of doing right now, then let it be. That's your one right thing. You did your one right thing, friend. Woohoo! We got it. Number 2, if you're ready for it. I know I said we're gonna calm down a bit, but I bet what can help you make you feel a lot bit better is if you're able to make some sort of sale, no matter how big or small. That's also going to help restore some of your confidence. So what can you do right now to make your next best sale, the next right thing? I don't really care what the sales number is right now. We need to focus on building you up, and you need to be comfortable with getting back into the swing of things. You need to know that it is possible. And that's why I don't really care how big or how small this next transaction is, because you need a win. And a sale is a win. And you're probably also just needing to make sure that you have revenue coming in, no matter where that comes in from. So let's find a sale. Who have you been talking to recently about a trip that just hasn't pulled the trigger yet? Can you follow up with them without, being overly salesy, overly desperate, because we don't want to come off that way. But knowing that you need to make a sale, how can you be of service to them? How can you just check in and see, hey, I know we talked about this potential cruise, this potential trip, this potential reunion, retreat, and we haven't chatted about it in a long time, so I just wanted to see where you're at, what you're thinking about it. Maybe sneak in a promotional offer here or there and see if you can use that to help close the sale for you. Has there been anybody that's been on your list that has been wanting to sell XYZ and you have found like the perfect promotion for them? It's probably time to check in with them too and let them know about this promotion. Maybe there's not a promotion, so maybe you want to run a special promotion again, thinking being proactive here. So maybe it's that you're going to run a flash sale. This is actually something that I'm doing on my email list. Maybe you're going to run a flash sale on your planning services, on your planning fees, and say for the month of June, this weekend, this week, anyone that books their next vacation with me gets 25% off planning services. Or that you'll throw them in something unique like a Shaka guide or anything like that, or If they book a trip that's 10,000 plus in sales, maybe you might add on spot travel solutions. But be creative. Have some fun with this. Because again, we want to think light and happy and excited about your next sale. So now that we've kind of regulated our physical being, let's light some sparks in our brain. How can we be creative with making our next sale within our travel business? Number 3, it might feel like you are alone right now, but I need you to know that you're definitely not alone. I'm here. You're listening to me. I got your back. We're going to take care of you, I promise. But you probably also have family members that you can turn to just to talk, cry it out, vent, let them know what you're frustrated on. Sometimes they don't really understand what it is being like, what the entrepreneurship life is like. So you might need to talk to one of your business friends, whether they're in the industry or not in the industry, and just chat it out, vent, scream, curse, whatever it is. Whatever healthy thing it is, make sure you're doing that thing. And then also reach out to your network of referral partners. This is something that always helps give me a big pick-me-up or big boost, is when I'm not sure what I should be doing, or when I need help getting the word out on something, is that I reach out to my friends in the industry. I reach out to my business friends, even those that are not in the industry, who just own businesses, like, hey, I am feeling stuck in a rut. I need help to get out of this funk. I'm really trying to sell my travel services, and I really want to focus on more sales to this destination or this type of experience. Do you know anybody that might be interested in something like this? Do you know anywhere I might be able to present a webinar on this travel topic? Just think really creatively about this and ask people, because I know number 2 is finding the sale. Number 3 really is about honing in on your network to see what other opportunities are available. Because you might be feeling like this because there's not been some sort of visibility opportunity. So there's not been a way for you to get in front of new people, refreshing people, new to you people. And maybe that's the best thing for you. That's your next best thing. That's your next best step. This kind of correlates with number 4, which is to look at your problem from a different angle. And so I know, like, we came up with a lot of different solutions for this particular travel advisor who was needing a lot of help in our call earlier this week. And by that evening, she was raring to go with lots of ideas. So that's also why I say lean in on to any community that you might belong to help support you. Because, like, I can't tell you how proud I am of the group on Wednesday and how everybody was able to support this travel advisor. It was just amazing. And that is more of definitely what we need in this business. But also, you might be looking at your problem from one way. Like, this is the only thing, and you know who you are. What can you do differently? Maybe you've been thinking you've been relying on one certain thing, and that thing is just not working out. So it's time to try something else. It's time to try something different, something new. Look at whatever your problem might be right now from a different lens. How can you help your clients differently? What is some kind of resource that your client might be needing right now? Also thinking about it, have you been really specific in your marketing efforts about who you serve and what you do, how you help? Because if you've been finding that you've been a little bit unclear, your audience might be also feeling that way too. They might be feeling like, well, they're talking about all these different things. I don't even know what to go to. Remember that specificity. And when you're able to be specific with what your travel business is, then you're able to more easily come to a solution for what can get you out of this darkness, whatever this might be, this big black hole that you might be under. We're going to get you out of here. So how can you think creatively? I know this is not one of my typical episodes, but I also know from the data, something's off in the industry. And I want to hear you. I want to help you. So if you're needing extra support right now, please feel free, send me a DM, send me a voice message. Let me know what's going on. If you need to schedule some consultation time, I'm happy to do that as well. I'm not opening up my rapid fire coaching again, so probably next year, but I do have ways that we can still work one-on-one together on an as-needed basis. Because I don't want you to go through whatever it is, excuse me, that you might be going through alone, because I also want you to know this is normal. Entrepreneurship is not just a linear line where yes, I did it. Yes, I did it. Things are getting better. Woohoo! It is that jagged up and down and oopsie daisies. I messed up, so we're going to go back in reverse, and now we're going to go forward. Now we're going to take a pause. It is a crazy ride, and it is not for the faint of heart. You really, really have to have some fortitude, and even then, the strongest of us can still crumble. It happens to all of us, and I wish more of us talked about this, more openly, where you think yeah, everything's going well, and then it doesn't. There's a period that it doesn't, and you try and do everything to get out of it, and nothing seems to be working. And that's really what this episode was inspired by. I think I really wanted to talk about a different topic, but this is the topic that you needed to hear about this week. And I think this is going to help many travel advisors. Please feel free to share this episode with a travel advisor that you might know that might be on tough times right now. Because it's not just business. We are complete, whole human beings. I've got health stuff that's going on in the background too, compounded with business stuff, compounded with the stuff that's going on in the news that I'm not going to talk about, because that's gonna clench all of our jaws back up again, so we'll just leave that out there. But there's a lot of heavy stuff that's going on right now. And I just need you to remember that you're not alone in this. There's so many of us that are here to help and assist you no matter where it is. I also need you to know, just because you might be feeling a low point right now, doesn't mean you're a failure. That doesn't mean you've never had any successes, because hello, you're here. You are signed up with a host agency, or maybe you've bought a franchise, or maybe you've gone independent and you're working with a consortia yourself. There are amazing wins. Have you recently been certified? Did you pass a training class recently? Did you print out some new business cards? Those are all little wins, and we've got to recognize some of those little wins. Sometimes those are the ones that kind of go by the wayside, and that's what we really need to put focus on is the little wins when the big ones seem harder and harder to get to. But I guarantee you, you're not the only one feeling like this. Unfortunately, this may not be the only time you feel like this, especially in the travel industry. There's always something that's happening and affecting us. So again, really that fortitude, but I want you to remember that excitement that you came into the industry with, even if you're like, you know what, I don't want to be doing what I'm doing anymore. But I want to stay in this industry and I want to do something different. I want to have a different impact. Then go ahead and do that. Again, look at it from a different angle here. There's not just one solution. That makes me think of Doctor Strange and how there could be millions and billions of different solutions. But it also makes me think of, content creation and the different angles, because I can take a picture of something straightforward, but if I never looked up, I would have never seen the wine bottles that were also above my head that looked pretty freaking cool. So you've got to look at the problem in different ways. And maybe you ask different people about what the problem is that you're dealing with to see what their perspective might be. Maybe you go to handy dandy ChatGPT. Just know that yes, this will pass. It's not going to be like in Lord of the Rings, you shall not pass. This will definitely pass at some point. And we're here for you. We're here to support you whenever that happens. All right, friend. Let's go take another deep breath before we end this episode. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. And let go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Send me a message because I'd love to know what your next right thing happens to be today. All right, talk to you soon, my friend. Thanks for joining me on the podcast today. Remember to check out the show notes for all relevant links and resources from today's show. See you next time.